Good morning, everyone. For my icebreaker, I decided to do something a little bit different. Rather than give you a resume about what I do for a living, where I went to school, and how many children I have, I want to tell you a little bit about what it took to get me here in front of you today. I am mostly very excited to be here, but I am a little bit terrified, and I want to explain what I mean by that. I was born a little girl with a very loud inner voice and almost no ability to speak. It took until my 30s to find out that what I suffered from was called social phobia, social anxiety disorder. I actually found out a name for it when a family member of mine was diagnosed with the same disorder. Nowadays, there's lots of therapies and medications that can help someone suffering from this. But back in my day, I was basically a social outcast. I was the weird girl, the girl who didn't talk. Even my own family tried to shame, embarrass, and humiliate the quietness out of me. So what did it take to get me here in front of you today? It took me listening to that inner voice that gave me little promptings during the course of my life. And I want to share with you just two quick examples. When I was in 8th grade, I had gone to Catholic school, so I knew the same group of kids for all those years. My inner voice told me that the following year, when I would change schools, I would have an opportunity to recreate myself, reinvent myself just a little bit if I could get up the guts to do it. I had no idea what that would entail, but I knew that little voice kept telling me this. So during the first week of my freshman year, the teacher said, who would like to volunteer to run for office to represent our homeroom to the student body council? Well, my hand shot up in the air, and my left brain said, holy mother, what have you done? And my little voice said, that's okay, that's exactly what you should have done, you're going to figure this out. Well, I don't know how I did it, but I did manage to go to every student body meeting, and I was paralyzed with fear. I couldn't talk there at all, but I did manage to come back after every meeting and give a report in front of my homeroom, in front of 25 to 30 of my peers. That was a really big first step of me learning how to work my way through a pretty much debilitating disorder. I didn't want to be the kid that didn't talk anymore. The second opportunity that the little voice gave me was at a party. And believe me, it's a really big deal because I don't even know how I got invited to a party, being that I was no fun and didn't talk and nobody knew me. But there I was, and there were two things that I wasn't used to there, and they were both very intriguing to me. The first one was beer, and the second one, you might have guessed, was boys. So I had my first beer that night, and I noticed that as I drank it, my body started feeling different. And as my body started feeling different, I started thinking differently. And suddenly I felt more comfortable talking a little bit. And after a little more beer, I felt comfortable talking even a little bit more. And it turns out that I was pretty funny. Really, who knew? My friends didn't know, or they were becoming my friends. Up until then they weren't. But when they thought that I was funny, my little voice said, pay attention to how that beer is making you feel. You're not going to always need alcohol to feel like this, but pay attention and try to memorize that, because you can teach yourself how to feel as comfortable as you are right now without the need for any substance. So that, I think, is really important because I'm not promoting alcohol. I barely drink at all. I'm illustrating this as a significant turning point because by paying attention to my little quiet voice, it helped me find my outer voice. And so I hope this little tiny snippet of an icebreaker has helped you understand a little bit about exactly what it took to get me here in front of you today. And although I am just a little bit terrified, I am mostly very excited. Thank you.